This little cabin you see right here, it's for sale. I designed it. It was built by the Small Dwelling Company out of Texas. Info on relaxshacks.com. And coming up soon, a chance for you to win a tiny house heater from Envy. Check them out through eheat.com. And we have a plethora of Superfly workshops, all hands-on happening in Massachusetts, North Carolina, Nebraska, Seattle area, and more. Relaxshacks.com for details. Hey, what's up, Deke? Relaxshacks.com. This is kind of a fireside chat-like video where I want to get a discussion going, open forum style, where I want your feedback below. If you disagree with things I say or have things to add to it, this will be educational for all of us, myself included, and that's kind of the point of this channel, to help you guys out and vice versa. A two-way street, or I hope. If you dig the video, of course, like it, because I hear that helps in an age where Facebook and YouTube really doesn't reach anyone anymore unless you pay exorbitant amounts of money through the eyes, nose, teeth, and other orifices to boost posts, which don't reach people anyway. There's my little rant right there. My God, it's getting tough. So, and I'm not cute either, and tech savvy, so it's tough to reach people. So, yeah, I want to talk about land, because just recently, I got my deed for a parcel of land I bought in California. And I really haven't talked about this online. I'm pretty private with some of the stuff I do. And I want to talk about how to find affordable land, because I get these emails all the time from people. And this is off the top of my head, it's impromptu, so bear with me, like I said, conversational. But one of the first things I do is there's a bunch of sites that I'm very much so a fan of when it comes to like perusing, daydreaming, and looking at land. I look at land all the time, and most of the parcels I will never buy, and I haven't bought. But landwatch.com is a good one, landandfarm.com, landhype.com is another, and there are a few other subsidiary or smaller sites that I really dig as well. You can look through Century 21 and Remax and all those too, and type in land in your price parameters. Have fun with that. I'm talking about this in regards to tiny houses because there still are a number of places in the country that are so remote where they don't care if you build a tiny house, or they will never discover you're doing one, or if they do, they're just happy to get some of your tax dollars. Or there's areas that just welcome tiny houses or would be more open to having them. I get a lot of emails from people like, Deke, I live in Manhattan, I want to build a tiny house on the top of this high rise. It's not going to happen yet. Further you get away from the city, the easier things get, the more understanding some counties seem to be, or they just don't care. But that's another discussion for another time. So look at those websites, daydream, check out the parcels of land. You'll find out there's some very affordable stuff out there. Colorado, California, northern New England, in the Midwest, Missouri, Arkansas, parts of Florida. You can buy houses in certain regions of the country for just about nothing. If you're gutsy and willing to take some risks and fix up some homes. Detroit, Milwaukee is one of them, Cleveland, and some of these houses have good bones. But I'm off track here. Do your research. First, find the land. What is it you're looking for? What region of the country? And furthermore, make sure you really read the ins and outs of what's allowed in that region. You can find most of the codes online, per county, per town, if that's going to be a tiny house project you're really looking into. So those are the websites I recommend. But make sure there are no liens, which are like holds against the land, or back taxes owed, which in a lot of cases you can also find out online through the county by researching the parcel ID number. Now here's the thing, you're going to find some cheap land, and I bought this, and I'll tell you right now, I bought this land, it's just under 5 acres, it's fully fenced in, it's marked where the perimeters are, which is nice, I don't have to get a survey done. It had the nice surprise when I went out to visit and had someone visit it for me, we'll get to that, of having a well that was installed, which wasn't listed in the real estate, from afar sale. So that's a huge bonus. And it has road frontage. It's, there's electrical lines about 500, power about 500 feet away. So those are the things I was looking for. You also want to make sure, are there amenities? By that, I mean, is there a lumber yard nearby if you're going to build something? Is there water? Like I said, power. Is there a place where you can buy groceries? Where's the nearest hospital? If you mess up your arm and cut it off with a chop saw and need help. Is there cell service? Think about those things as well. They seem unprofound, but they might be something, those things might be very much so needs to you. So I bought this parcel of land for like $3,000, my brother and I, so I actually split it. The deeds, it's a co-deeded parcel. The reason being, we want to do like a tiny house summer camp west at some point in time and do some cool desert builds, experimental builds, adobe. You can get a lot. You can get away with a lot in California. But here's the thing: those parcels of land that are cheap, there are people out there, not myself, but to them, a couple $1,000 is nothing. You know, they use it as toilet paper. They scoff at the thought, or it's nothing to them. So, what the problem is, when you look at this land and research it for about a week, some in the meantime, without looking at it, they don't care. They take these risks and buy up land left and right. The parcel's gone. It's happened to me so many times. We tried to buy an island. My first YouTube video ever. We went to look at an island in Maine or New Hampshire border we wanted to buy that was dirt cheap, just to say, I own an island. Oh, it's a Marlon Brando impersonation. And it sold from under us when we trekked all the way out there to kayak to it, look at it. It was like $2,000, but I didn't have $2,000 to just burn for nothing. Those parcels go quick, so make sure you do your research quickly. But here's something else I discovered recently that helped me out with this parcel right here. I went on Craigslist. Craigslist, unlike Facebook and YouTube, still is relatively untainted. You can post stuff for free. It's great. I put an ad in the 29 Palms area saying I'm looking for someone, easy money, to go out and film a parcel of real estate, take some pictures, and send me a little like short cell phone clip, and I'll pay you $75, I think it was, or $65. The guy actually did such a fantastic job that I tipped him and paid him a little more because, who knows, I could use the guy in the future. But it worked out nicely. I didn't know if this would work. I put the word out there on Craigslist, and within 1 hour, I get 7 different people emailing me. So in an area where there might be a lot of people out of work too, you're probably going to have a better chance getting someone who's good to pick up that offer. So the person went out there, took photos, sent them to me, took video, walked around, and even got the neighbor on video talking to him who had the back history on the land. That is invaluable. That's the kind of information you want on your parcel of land. You want to see what it looks like. You want to see what the neighbors are around you, and you can't do that from Google Earth. But I do recommend, and here's another tip, really checking out the lay of the land through a Google satellite image. It's amazing. People take it for granted, but the technology at our fingertips these days is amazing. So I will daydream, look at parcels, then go to Google Earth and look at them from satellite. You can get in pretty close. You can drive the roads in some cases. You can see what's nearby. Like, oh, there's a asbestos factory 100 yards away that the realtor neglected to put in the photos of the landscape. Those are the kind of things you want to do. And they're all, in this day and age, really quick and easy in terms of tasks. So make sure, and I keep saying this over and over, do your research. Also look at the market there real estate wise. If you ever want to flip land, like is land on the decline here, or is it a kind of a boom town in the making? Joshua Tree, 29 Palms, all those areas. If you're into the whole like hipstery, artistic LA vacation spot movement, because it is a very weird area, it's a pretty hot spot right now. There's other places in the country, Portland, Oregon, much more pricey, all those areas that are through the roof. So in some cases, people buy land to make money. Not really the case here. I just want to do some cool workshops at stations around the U.S. But I highly recommend the Craigslist method, as I call it. Sorry, I keep swallowing. I have a total cold and sinus infection. Aside from that, photos, look up the websites. Make sure you see what the taxes are, because cheap land sometimes will bite you in the arse in the end run because it's being dumped for a reason. The taxes are too expensive, or there's too many restrictions on the land, or it's commercial land, or it's somewhere you just can't build at all. The last thing I want to recommend, and this comes into play when you look at satellite images too, if it's in the desert, look for, and you can see them because they look like dry riverbeds, look for the seasonal washes. The land you have, at one point during the year, is it a flooded plain? Is it a river? Or, more importantly, are you near bodies of water? Is this right next to a wetlands, a lake or a stream where you are not allowed to build within 50 to 100 or whatever odd feet by code? That is something that can really screw you. It might seem, fantasy-like, an idea, like I got this land right next to a creek, but the parcel of land's 0.25 acres and you can't build within 100 feet of that stream. I almost bought land like that at one point. Make sure that's a piece of land you avoid. We even had daydreams of we're going to build some kind of structure that just floats in the creek. So technically we're not building on the land, or it's on skids. I mean, you can look into loopholes too, of course, but sometimes it's more hassle than it is worth. So there are a few tips when looking for affordable land, in some cases tiny house land. You know, the further you get outside of a city, like I said, the more chance there is that tiny houses won't be frowned upon, they'll be allowed, or you could just outright renegade style get away with having one and no one will see and no one will know. Just a couple tips I want to impart on you guys. I know it's a long video, but like I said, conversational. Put your comments below. I'd love to hear from you and some of the sites you might check out all the time. Tiny house listings, great one. Like I said, it's you know, for places to park your tiny house and tiny houses for sale. And there's a couple others out there. Feel free to add them below. And hope to see you at a couple of upcoming workshops. By the way, the shirt I'm wearing, the Stay Vocal shirt through the Alex Eves reused clothing line. It's one I designed amongst a couple others. We have a tiny house robot one now on stayvocal.com. Check out my band, check out the workshops. I said that and whatever else. And thank you for your time. Sincerely, I'm Deke, relaxshacks.com. We will see you guys out on the road or on some obscure, weird junk piece of land.